What's happening, people? TLP, the Liverpool Prophet, back again with more Liverpool related stuff to talk about. Of course, everyone, you guys know the drill, you guys know how it is. As usual, going to be giving you guys, running you guys through a couple of Liverpool related stories regarding, I'll just tell you guys the topic of discussion today is going to be Arne Slot. Arne Slot's job. How long does Arne Slot have? Will Arne Slot last? Will he stay? Will he go? Will he be sacked? Because there's a couple of different reports coming out and they're all saying different things. So I wanted to share them all with you and discuss them and delve into them. So that is, of course, the purpose of today. So without further ado, before we get into the video, before we get into the talking points, do remember, if you are new to the channel, drop a like on the video if you are enjoying it. Do subscribe to the channel as well. We are only 11 subscribers away from 600 people, so we're so close to hitting 600. So if you can subscribe, much appreciated. Turn notifications on as well on the channel so you know whenever content drops. And of course, get down below in the comments and let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that is being said in today's topic of discussion. So without further ado, we'll start with it. Arne Slot. What do we think, people? Arne Slot, stay or go? So there seems to be a split in the Liverpool fan base at the moment when it comes to the manager. There are people who are still Arne Slot in. I can't understand for the life of me how that is, but of course everyone's entitled to their opinion. There's some people who are still on the fence, which fair enough, and then there's a lot of people, well, I would say the majority of the fan base now are very much Arne Slot out. So it's a mixture. Most of us are Arne Slot out while we wanted to give him time, while we believed in him, while we tried our best to believe in him. It's very obvious that he hasn't got a clue what he's doing and he doesn't know how to turn Liverpool around and get us back to the top. That's become very evident. I tried, honestly, I take no pleasure in saying Slot out, but I really tried my best personally to get behind him and to back him, but it just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. The more I backed him, the worse it got, and it's now at a point where I'm Slot out, and I'm proud to say that I'm Slot out because there's just no way back from what I can see. There's no way back for him as the Liverpool manager, especially when you look at what's happening in the media. Everyone's turning on him, etc. It's very toxic at the moment, so I just don't see a way back. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans feel that way too. None of us take pleasure in saying Slot out. Look, none of us take pleasure. When you look at what happened when Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool, when you look at the situation we were in managerial-wise, let's be honest, we struggled to get a manager. Slot was probably third choice on the list. I know people will say, oh, he was first choice all along. I don't believe it. I firmly believe that the first choice was Xabi Alonso. Then I believe Ruben Amorim was second, and I believe Arne Slot was third. So after losing out on Klopp, we ended up getting our third choice manager. And there was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of uncertainty about where Liverpool's future was headed as a club, where we were headed as a team, what the future lied in store. And last season, Arne Slot did something incredible. He absolutely killed it in his first year. My expectation going into last season was incredibly low. Incredibly low. It was the most unexcited I felt going into a season watching Liverpool in a long time, purely because we lost Jurgen Klopp. We've had bad times in the past, but I always felt like we have the bad times, but we suffer it with Klopp. Now that he was going, I just felt incredibly dejected, incredibly worried about where the future of our club was headed. Slot, of course, coming from the Dutch league, unproven. We know managers who have come from the Dutch league before traditionally don't do too well in the Prem. Ten Hag, Louis van Gaal, Ronald Koeman, Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace. So there was worry. And he didn't get no signings in the window as well. There was a lot of talk about how Liverpool's team was aging when Klopp left. In hindsight, he probably left us a decent team, but at the time, people were saying it's an aging team, it needs investment. We didn't get no investment. On top of getting no investment, well, we did sign Federico Chiesa, but he never really played, so he doesn't really count, in my opinion. On top of getting no investment in the squad, we let players go like Thiago, Matip, and I think we were probably a little bit weaker off going into last season. On top of that, even to make things worse, there was a lot of talk about the contract situation, what was going to happen with Trent Alexander-Arnold, what was going to happen with Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk. We went into the season with that unsure, so that was playing on the minds of all of us as well. A lot of uncertainty going into last season, but Arne Slot killed it. His tactical know-how, he set the team up perfectly in most games. He just absolutely killed it, and he walked the league last season. Came in, walked the league. Obviously, Manchester City had an off year. Arsenal weren't quite at it. Other teams underperformed massively. Look at where Manchester United finished. Look at where Tottenham finished. So we won the league last season. And while we were probably lucky, yes, it's an incredible achievement because no one gave Arne Slot a chance. No one said Slot had a chance. No one said he would do as well as he did. We all thought we were finished post Jurgen Klopp. We all thought the glory days were over. We were going to go back to being mediocre. And last season, while I wasn't buying it at first, the more the season went on, the more I started to enjoy watching Liverpool again, the more the uncertainty left. A season that I had very, very little expectation for ended up being a great season. I know we went out of the Champions League. I know we lost the Carabao Cup final. I know we lost in the FA Cup to Plymouth and got knocked out. But it was a good season. We won the league and we won it without fans in the ground. When we won it under Jurgen, there were no fans in the ground. We didn't get that excitement. We didn't get that feeling of being able to celebrate it with the players. This time around, it was very different. So we did something incredible last season. Slot did something incredible last season. When people say it was Slott's team, well, it was Klopp's team, sorry, that won the league, I agree and disagree. While it was still very much Jurgen's team, and while we were still very much playing Jurgen's football, Slot was the one who was leading the team out. Slot was the one that was tactically doing everything. Slot was the one that was setting the team up week in, week out. So he has to get credit where credit is due. He did incredibly well last season. And the fact he got 0 signings as well, incredibly well. So I'll always respect Arne Slot for what he did last season. And of course, look, following in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps was never going to be easy for any manager. Even if it was a Xabi Alonso who came in, it was going to be incredibly hard. And last season, I felt Arne Slot did that perfectly. He led by example, and it looked like we'd gotten the Paisley to our Shankly. Klopp being Shankly, it looked like we've gotten Slot in the Paisley form. But unfortunately, this season, it's all gone to turmoil. I think the downfall really started last season, personally, with Slot. I think around the time we went out to PSG in the Champions League, you started to see Jurgen's heavy metal football slowly start to disappear, and we started to see Slot's real style, his real implementation on the team, and it wasn't good. We lost the cup final too, went out against Plymouth, went out of the Champions League. In the league, I'll be honest, we were kind of scraping over the line a bit. I'll be totally real with everyone. We didn't win our last 4 games. After we won the title, we were crowned champions against Spurs, didn't win the last 4 games. We went on holiday before the season started to Ibiza. It's letting standards slip. At the time, people were like, it doesn't matter, we won the league. But it's the principle. Standards are slipping. You want to celebrate, cool, but you wait till the season finishes to go on holiday to Ibiza. The fact we went on holiday to Ibiza before the season finished was incredibly disrespectful. I felt it was incredibly cocky and it was incredibly arrogant by the manager. And I felt at the time standards were slipping then. We didn't end the season well, but we were champions, so we all overlooked it. This season, the problems have just continued on from last season, but they've gotten worse. We all were very happy with the season last year, and we were all over the moon with the investment in the summer. Isak, Ekatike, Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes. We were over the moon. We all sat there and said, Slot was able to win with a team that wasn't his. Now, you give Slot a team that is his, you give him some signings, he'll be able to take us even further. Instead, what's happened? We've gone backwards. Everything that Slot was so good at last season, everything that we all praised him for last season, it's just disappeared. It's just no longer there. You listen to him in the press conferences, you listen to him in the pre-match conferences, you listen to him in the post-match interviews. He's a completely different person. He feels like a completely different person and a manager to what he was last season. Last season, his demeanour was great. He said all the right things. He didn't have that high energy that Jurgen Klopp had, but he led by example. He had his own way, and we respected him for it. This season, he's just lost everything. He's coming out with strange things in his press conferences, in post-match interviews. He's coming out with stupid nonsense like, oh, low blocks are a problem, etc. You've had 6 months to work out how to play against a low block, and you still haven't been able to do it. So everything that we praised him for last season, he's gone back on it and he's regressed. And that's it. It's the same to say. It's the same to say Slot out, because in the summer, who the hell would have thought Liverpool would be sat here in this position where we're out of the title race, we're in the top 4 race after spending 400 million. We're probably not going to win the Champions League. We're out of the Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup is a long one. Who would have felt we would be in this position in the summer, where we all sat there and said we could win a treble, minimum Premier League and Champions League. We were starting something, we were creating something. Instead, we've just regressed and we've gone backwards. I'm not saying Slot is the only problem at the club, because he's not. Ultimately, he cannot fire himself. The club have to do it. The club are a problem as well. The owners are a problem. Hughes and Edwards are a problem here as well, because they are not doing what needs to be done to get us back on the right track. Slot going is not the only issue here. There's other issues, but you start with Slot going. You start with Slot being sacked, and you work from there. And the fact he's still here again just shows how unambitious our owners are. Shows how weak-minded they are. Shows how they don't care about winning at the end of it. Let's be honest, they do not care about winning. The only thing FSG care about is investment. They care about Liverpool getting top four every season. If we finish top four, if we finished in fourth place every single season, they'd be happy with it because it's a win for them. For us, that's not acceptable because we are Liverpool. We want to be challenging for the Premier League, the Champions League. We want to be winning the cups. It's not acceptable. But for them, they see Champions League qualification every year as acceptable. And that's a problem. That should not be the standards of a club like Liverpool. It shouldn't be. And again, Slot staying so far, Slot still being here, shows how low their standards are, shows how they are willing to accept mediocrity. Now, are they talking to other managers behind the scenes? I would bloody well hope they are. If they're not even talking to other managers behind the scene, I'd be incredibly worried because that would show that they don't see the problems that we do. I praised the FSG in the transfer window. I said how well they moved. But this window, it's just gone back to being what it was like before, where they would cry poor mouth, they would be cheap, they wouldn't spend money, and they're doing the exact same thing this window. It's blatantly obvious we need a centre back, isn't it? It's blatantly obvious. But what have FSG done? No, everything's fine. We don't need no one. It's amazing how every January window, when we've had a bad season and needed investment, we can all see the problems in the team, but they can't seem to see them. It's amazing. Genuinely, it is absolutely astonishing how we can see there's issues, we can see there's holes, but they can sit there and say, no, everything's good. Two of our main targets this window were apparently going to be Mark Guehi and Anton Semenyo, and we sat on our backsides with both of them, and they've now both gone to Manchester City. They don't care, people. Our owners do not care. Like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jurgen Klopp was papering over a lot of cracks at this football club. He was covering for the incompetence of Michael Edwards, the incompetence of FSG with his brilliant management skills, with his ability to work with low budgets. Now that he's gone, we're seeing the cracks appear. They don't care. They don't care. And unless we're vocal about it, unless protests happen, unless FSG outbanners are in the crowd, it's going to continue. We're going to become mediocre, and we may as well join the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal and Chelsea and Tottenham with low standards. We may as well. Going back to my slot in, slot out thing, I went a bit off topic there again. Going into the slot out, slot in thing. People who are slot in, I look at them as low standard fans. I look at them as fans who have got zero standards, don't care about winning. They're just happy clappers. I haven't met a single Liverpool fan who can give me one genuine reason why Arne Slot should stay to those who are slotting. There's only one argument that gets thrown out, and that's he won the league last season. Cool, fine, he won the league last season. Does that mean we're sentimental? Is his name Pep Guardiola? Is his name Carlo Ancelotti? Is his name Jurgen Klopp? Is his name Jose Mourinho? Is he a Zinedine Zidane? Is he that high of a caliber of manager that we can just accept it? No, he's Arne Slot, respectfully. His name is Arne Slot. He shouldn't have as much of a buy-in as he does, but he does for some reason. It's loser, weak mentality. That's the way I look at it. People who don't want to win, and they're happy to see Liverpool struggling week in, week out. There's no genuine reason. There's no reasonable reason why he should still be the Liverpool manager. No one can give me one. Genuinely, all I hear is, but he won the league last season, he needs time. Time for what? He spent 400 million in the summer. He brought in all of these players. People are now sat there saying, it's going to take time to gel. We're going to be in a transitional year. It's top 4 year. Get the hell out of here with that loser mentality. Please leave my club with that loser mentality. Because these are the same people that in the summer would have been talking about quadruples, would have been talking about returning the league, would have been talking about winning the Champions League and doing well in the Cups. They are now trying their hardest to spin the narrative purely because they don't want to come out and call it for what it is and say that the manager needs firing. That's the slot-in brigade. Low standards, happy to accept mediocrity. Us slot-out people, we are the ones who actually have standards. We are the ones who want to see this club successful at the top, winning. That's the way I look at it personally. That is how I look at it, in my humble opinion. But I wanted to bring up something regarding the manager situation that, again, just absolutely has infuriated the hell out of me because I'm so annoyed reading this. If I just bring this to the screen, everyone. As you guys can see right there, according to the Anfield sector, Slot retains the backing of FSG. He retains the backing of FSG, who have no plans to follow the lead of rivals Manchester United and Chelsea by making a managerial change mid-campaign. What an absolute joke. What an absolute joke. What I'm reading here, Manchester United have higher standards than Liverpool because they got rid of their manager. Chelsea have higher standards than Liverpool because they got rid of their manager. Tottenham arguably are going to have higher standards than Liverpool because they are going to get rid of their manager sooner or later. That's inevitable that Thomas Frank gets fired. But what are Liverpool doing? Oh, we're going to stick with Slot. It's everything's good. He needs time. This is exactly what I mean about accepting mediocrity. Now, why are they doing this? Do they genuinely believe in Slot? Do they think there's no one out there in the market they can go get? I don't know. I can't say, people. Are they being stubborn? Do they not want to admit they made a mistake? I hear people saying Liverpool aren't a sacking club, we don't fire managers. Excuse me? What did we do to Brendan Rodgers before Klopp came in? What did we do to Roy Hodgson? What did we do to Rafa Benitez? Were these managers not sacked? Were these managers not fired? It's only because we had Klopp for as long as we did. People say we're not a sacking club. Before Jurgen Klopp, we sacked our previous 3 managers. So get out of here with this, oh, Liverpool are not a sacking club. We are. We were before Jurgen joined. So that's bollocks. But that's what he retains the full backing of FSG. So a 1-1 draw at home to Burnley is acceptable. A 1-1 draw away at home to Sunderland is acceptable. A 3-2 draw away against Leeds is acceptable. 0-0 against Leeds is acceptable. Going life and death with the 9-man Spurs, going life and death with 20th place Wolves is acceptable, apparently. He's going to stay. Mediocrity, here we come, people. Mediocrity, here we come. Jurgen Klopp was saving this club. Now that he's gone, it's all falling apart. Slot, respectfully, Tim, I'm sure he's a nice man, but he's so cold. His demeanour just isn't right. He's emotionally too distant. Doesn't connect with his fans. And that's not what we need. That is not what we need. We had a dream in Klopp. Someone who got it as much as we did. Someone who cared as much as we did. Someone who was emotional like we were. Do you look at Slot and think he's a Liverpool manager? No, you don't, because his demeanour is not that of a Liverpool manager. It's time for FSG to come out here and say they made a mistake by appointing Arne Slot as the manager. They made a mistake and they need to fix it. That's what they should be coming out and saying. Apologies. Instead, what are we getting? They're coming out with bollocks like this. We have no plans on following the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea in sacking our manager. We're going to stick by him. We aren't going to get top 4. We are not going to get top 4 if Arne Slot stays till the end of the season. We're not winning the Champions League. We're going to get absolutely smoked by a half-decent team when we come up against one. And we're not winning the FA Cup either. So we're on the course at the moment to a trophyless season. And a trophyless season, after the summer we had, is unacceptable. We need investment now as well, by the way, in January. We need a centre-back, maybe even 2. And we haven't seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is pathetic. Pathetic beyond belief. Loser owners do not want to win, do not care about winning. Only one thing they're interested in, and that's money, profit. That's it. Slot retains the backing of FSG. Oh, my life. We may as well become losers. Genuinely, we may as well become losers. This should not be the standard. This should not be the standard. Genuinely. I wanted to bring up another report now, people. Because, like I said, there's a couple of multiple reports coming out here that I think are very interesting. Ooh, same one again, apologies. So, there's multiple reports on Slot. Here's another one from Kayla News. Here we go. Let's just bring it up. The format always goes weird when I do stuff like this. So, refuse non-essential cookies. Here's another one. Exclusive. LFC are aware the lack of progress in style of football since March 2025. The message has been received by Arne Slot but Champions League qualification is not enough to keep his job. They need to see improvement in tactics and style. So one report is saying Slot is on thin ice, he's going to go. Another report is saying here that Champions League qualification is not enough to save his job. He needs to win something. So I would agree with this one more so because from the reports I've been reading, multiple reports and outlets are saying this. So it looks like what FSG are trying to do here is they want to stick with Arne Slot for now, for this season, because they don't want to change managers mid-season and the situation gets worse. What they want to do is they want to give him till the end of the season and then they want to part ways with him in the summer and bring in another manager. That would make sense to an extent, but I disagree. I want change now. Most of us want change now because ultimately, what's the benefit of keeping Slot around until the end of the season? I don't see a benefit. Are they hoping for a miracle? He's going to somehow turn it around, that we're going to somehow start cooking all of a sudden? It's not going to happen. Genuinely, I get what people are saying. Bringing Xabi Alonso in now potentially could disrupt the season because tactics will change in that. But if we bring Xabi Alonso in the summer, it's going to be like last season all over again, where we have a transitional year, new manager, new tactics, and we don't know what's going to come ahead. You bring Xabi Alonso in now, he'll have 3 to 4 months to work with this team this season. In the summer, he'll have more time to implement his ideas, and we can go into next season. Otherwise, we're just going to be in more transition. So bring Xabi Alonso in now. That's what I do. Bring him in now. If he's the guy, if it's someone else, bring them in now so they can implement their ideas early on, and in the summer, maybe get some investment. Probably not, but we can always hope. And then we go again next season properly. There's no benefit. There is no benefit, in my opinion, to keeping this man at Liverpool Football Club. There's no benefit at all. Because the football is dire, the tactics are dire, he's lifeless, he's got no energy, he's got nothing about him. So, the sooner he's gone, the better, in my personal, humble opinion. So, if you just read this again as well, people, they're aware of lack of progress in style of football. So if you're aware of the lack of progress, why is he still here? Why is he still the manager of our football club if they are aware of a lack of progress? Progress should be going upwards, not downwards. Our progress has gone from that upwards straight downwards. So they're aware, but they won't make a change because they're stubborn and they don't want to admit they were wrong. Well done, FSG. Well done. Champions League qualification won't be enough to keep his job. I'm glad that that's been said there because we didn't spend all that money just to finish 4th place and win nothing. We didn't. Oh, I'm getting irate. I'm getting irate talking about this because he shouldn't even be in a job right now. The fact that I'm still here debating this and talking about it angers me. He should have been long gone. He should have been long gone. They need to see improvements in tactics and style. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen because he's tactically inept. He's tactically idiotic. He doesn't know how to set a team up to save his life. Doesn't even know how to work a way around a low block. Doesn't even know how to do that. So tactics are not going to change. Nothing is going to change. FSG, this is not going to get better. This is only going to get worse. Genuinely, if you look at our next 4 games coming up as well, genuinely, have you seen our next 4 games, people? We go away to Marseille on Wednesday, which is not going to be an easy game. Tough game. We need to win as well to qualify from the top 8 or we go into a playoff round. We have Bournemouth away next weekend. Won't be an easy game. I know they're struggling, but we're not great either. We'll make them look better than they are. Then we play Newcastle at home and Manchester City at home. We are not winning all 4 of those games. We are definitely losing at least one. Where we're going to lose, I don't know. But we're going to lose at least one of those games. So this isn't going to get better. These next 4 games, in my opinion, are actually going to get worse. Just do the right thing. FSG, just do the right thing and sack this manager. Please put us all out of our misery. It didn't work out. We all are annoyed it didn't work out. We're not happy to be sitting here saying Arne Slot out. A lot of you guys are. I'm not. But it needs to be done. Tough decisions need to be made. Genuinely. Tough decisions need to be made. And obviously, by the looks of it, they don't have the bollocks to do the tough decisions and make them. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are not out of the wind either. They are, as well, a big problem here. Because they do not come out and take accountability. When it was all going well in the summer, Hughes was out there with the sage on in the media. When it's all gone wrong, where is he? Hiding away, letting Slot take all of the fall. Cowards, man. Absolute cowards. So, unfortunately, by the looks of it, By the looks of it, Arne Slot is here for this season at least, and that absolutely angers the hell out of me because we won't get top four. Even if we bring in an interim, a Steven Gerrard, for example, we could get a bounce. You saw what Manchester United did to Chelsea. They got a bounce with their new interim. If Alonso wants to wait till the summer, bring in Gerrard for now and then get Alonso in the summer. Anything is better than keeping Arne Slot around. Genuinely. Mediocrity. This is it. Mediocrity. And it's a big problem in football. No standards. Club don't have standards. Fans don't have standards. And the club just end up dying. Look at what happened to Manchester United. Perfect example. We're headed down that road. We are headed down that road if we're not careful. Genuinely. And I hate to say that, but with the way some of our fans are acting, with the way some of our fans have such low standards for this football club, we're headed down that way. And I hate to say it, because we used to mock Manchester United for not having standards, and now we are acting the exact same way. It's a problem, and it's annoying. It's annoying when you see the likes of Real Madrid have standards, when you see the likes of Manchester City have high standards, when you see the likes of Bayern Munich have high standards, and then you see the likes of Liverpool accepting mediocrity, our fans accepting mediocrity. This would not be tolerated at Real Madrid. This would not be tolerated at Manchester City. This would not be tolerated at Bayern Munich. The manager would have been sacked ages ago at these clubs. So why are we accepting mediocrity? Why are we sat here lapping it up, lapping a 11-game unbeaten run in which we've drawn to 3 newly promoted sides and we're the champions? Why? I don't understand it. But people, I'm going to end the video here. Apologies, another rant, but the situation is really annoying at the moment and I have to get my feelings across. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on the whole Slot situation. Do you guys think he will last the season? How do you guys feel it will go if he does last the season? Let me know down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, of course. Do subscribe to the channel as well. Only 600 subs away from 600. Only 11 subs away from 600, sorry. So if you can subscribe, much appreciated. We are almost there, people. Of course, turn notifications on as well, so you know whenever content drops. Other than that, I'm going to go, people. I'll be back tomorrow with my match preview for the Marseille game. So score prediction, predicted lineup, and thoughts on the game. Not confident, not feeling a win, but you guys will see tomorrow. So that'll drop tomorrow afternoon or evening, depending on how I feel. Other than that, everyone, like, subscribe, and comment on your way out. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Big up you guys. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.